My exclusive interview I had earlier with Chair of the Democrat Party of Georgia, Charlie Bailey. I'm on the phone with Charlie Bailey. He is the chairman of the Georgia Democrat Party and good friend of the show. And first, I got to start off by telling you congratulations on your victory yesterday in 121, District 121. And I do want to reiterate what I said. Go ahead.
I was just saying thank you.
And I do want to reiterate what I said when you first got elected. I said Charlie Bailey is going to take every race seriously. They're going to campaign everywhere. They're going to campaign in red districts and in heavily red districts and Trump-supporting districts, and they're going to go after every single vote. And so far, you've proven me correct. So tell us what happened yesterday.
Yeah, that's all I try to do, Shelley, is prove you right on things. So that way. Listen, you're right. You can't do everything in every race, but when we see an opportunity, we're going to move, and we know what we're doing. Credit to, obviously, Eric and his team, the county parties over there, both the Clark County Party and the Oconee County Party. We mobilized our people from across the state. A number of them went and canvassed over there. Even more were on the phones calling voters, and then we put $50,000 into a TV ad, and went right at the Republican, and made sure that the voters knew what was at stake. And here's the thing: we will, as I've told you before, we're not going to win every single race we get into, but we are going to win more than we lose. And we know what we're doing. We identify what the issues are. We identify where the weaknesses are, and we hammer.
Now, while I'm on the phone with Charlie Bailey, chairman of the Democrat state party here in Georgia, this was a heavily Trump district. What made you guys think you even had a chance?
Well, it was plus 12. Trump won it by 12 points, and here's the thing, Shelley, there are 17 seats in the state house that are more Democratic than this one. 17. And after we won this seat, we are only 10 seats away from flipping the state house. So we can actually get some people in office that give a darn about working folks and are going to protect their health care and work to get the American dream back more attainable for the vast majority of Georgians. But what we saw after the PSC, we won those races. In the PSC, we won this district, 59-41. And, we recognized that in the environment where, frankly, people feel betrayed by Republicans. They feel betrayed by Donald Trump. They feel betrayed by these Republicans that have been in charge under the Gold Dome for 22 years, policies that are making their lives more unaffordable, harder to live that American dream, harder to get ahead, and they're mad about it. And that's it's nothing like elections to tell you what voters think. I've told you that before. And so we recognize that in this environment that we've got an opportunity to give them another option. So, and look, you're not going to know if you sit around and wait for the sure thing. You're just going to be sitting around waiting a long daggone time. All right, you're going to have to take some risk. That's the way it goes if you want to win power for working people. And so, but that's what we saw. We are seeing what people are saying, which is they feel betrayed by Republicans. And when we see that and we see an opportunity, we're going to go on it.
When you say that, first question 1A. Did Mr. Geisler see Republicans flipping over to him or just staying home? And the second part of that question, is that what you're hearing on the ground, that people are upset at the Republicans in the State House?
So to the first question, we have not yet dug into all the data to answer that, in fairness. We don't know if that is...
what about have you dug into the data from the PSC race? Because that was, earlier.
Yes. And so I can give you some idea on that. In PSC, we saw both. So we saw, you might be familiar that, when you're analyzing voter data, we have things called DNC scores. Every voter has one, and it's a score of 1 to 100. 100 being, the most Democratic voter of all time, 1 being the most Republican voter of all time. Okay, so it gives some idea. And we've had these since 2008, and in every election we've had the ultimate, like if you take the entire electorate and you average out all their DNC scores, that number falls within a point or two of the ultimate vote share. In an illustration of that, last year the VP got 48.5% in Georgia. The DNC score for the electorate was 48. Okay, so it's always like very, very close. In the PSC, you would expect to see 63, then 62, because we won 63 statewide. 62, 61, whatever. It was 56.7. That is the biggest delta that we have ever seen. And what that means is the electorate was less Democratic than the vote was. The only way you can get that is by having undetermined, independents, and some Republicans more than we ever had as a proportion of the population voting for the Democrat.
Wow. We're on the phone with Democrat Chair of Georgia, Charlie Bailey. Charlie, before I let you go, what message do you have for Georgia voters, Democrat and Republican alike? What message do you have for them?
Yeah, even though we are the Democratic Party of Georgia, we fight for everybody in this state. And my message is, if you are fed up with governments in D.C. and Atlanta that protect billionaires and big corporations and whoever the latest lobbyist was to buy a bourbon and steak, folks that are focused on the issues of those people and not focused on the ability of hardworking Georgians to keep their kids safe, for their kid to do well in school, and to be able to pay a hospital bill and save up some money. If you're tired of a government that doesn't care about you and is making it harder for you and your family, you don't have to put up with it. And that's what these elections showed, people saying, you know what, I ain't going to put up with it anymore. We're going to give these Democrats a chance. It's the Democratic Party that brought the Hope Scholarship. It's the Democratic Party that brought Medicare. It's the Democratic Party that is fighting and always has fought for working people. And that is my message to voters. Give the Democrats a chance and don't put up with this anymore.
How I know I said it was the last question, but how is your fundraising? And also, not only that, but does this give you more and more? You had the PSC races, now you have the special election. Are you guys getting more and more confident and emboldened going forward?
Fundraising is going well. We've raised more money in the last 6 months than we ever have in a 6-month period. We're about the work, and so there's nothing like winning, to show proof of concept. But we don't rest on our laurels, and we're going to out-strategize the Georgia Republican Party and win these races for working people.